Today we will be looking at the North American porcupine distribution in Vermont. The North American porcupine, also known as Erythozon dorsatum, is a large herbivorous animal in the order Rodentia. They are semi-arboreal and known for their large quills, which are primarily used for defense. These animals are also known to be very reclusive and only found in the woods. So I thought it quite interesting one day when I found one off the side of the road in Peru, Vermont. And this started the question of how human population and urbanization affects the distribution of North American porcupines. For this study, we focused on the urbanization in Vermont and how that specifically affects the distribution of North American porcupines in Vermont. I hypothesized that we would find more porcupine observations in areas with less people and with more wilderness. There has been a good amount of research done on this topic in areas such as California and the Midwest, where they found declining populations of North American porcupines in areas with increased urbanization. In order to do this study, we used the iNaturalist observations from the past year, starting in October 2019, ending in October 2020. And we organized each of these North American porcupine observations into the county that they were located in. And then we were able to collect the data for each county of the population based on the census of 2018, the acres of protected wilderness estimated from the Vermont Department of Forest, Parks, and Recreations, and the total acres in each county. We also used R analysis software in order to create bar charts and run linear regressions that you're going to see later. On the left, you can see a map of each of the counties in Vermont. Here you can see all of the data that we collected for each county, including the population, the acres of protected wilderness, the size in square miles, and then we used the size in square miles and the population in order to calculate the population per square mile of each of the counties in order to make them more comparable. On the right, we can see the number of porcupine observations found for each county in that year. You can also see that here in a more visual representation. You see that there is a good deal of variation in the observations of North American porcupines for each county. And now we're going to look at what we found of the reasons for this difference. Here you can see two different linear regressions. The one on the left shows the relationship between the observations per county and the acres of protected wilderness. Here you can see a strong positive correlation with a very small p-value of less than 0.001 and an r-squared value of 0.75. Orange County was excluded as an outlier from this study, or for this specific linear regression. On the right, you can see another linear regression that shows the observations per county and its relationship with the human population per square mile. There was no relationship or no significant relationship found between these two factors. In conclusion, the porcupines were more likely to be found in areas with more protected wilderness and less likely to be found in areas with more urbanization. Another way of phrasing this is that we found a higher abundance in areas with more protected wilderness. While iNaturalist studies are not perfect due to the fact that it is reliant on human observations and that is skewed by the differences in human populations in different areas, and that could be a reason why we didn't see any relationship between the human populations and the North American porcupine populations. Furthermore, it is likely that there is a variation in the amount of people or percentage of people in each area registered for iNaturalist, so that might skew the data as well. Despite all of this, this study does show us some of the negative effects of urbanizations on North American porcupines.